Well, since it's recording, we should prep the fact that the semifinals we played. This is the MLL at its finest. We played Denver in their practice uniform.
Yes, that was that bad. I slept on the floor with somebody in Chicago on the way to the game.
That's
because everything was shut.
That's going to be the soundbite that we use for the intro to this. I slept on the floor.
So well, I won't tell you our night before, but what was interesting is we had both our jerseys there, Ryan, because we played 2 nights, 2 days. We planned on playing, so we had both our jerseys. So their option was to wear our other jerseys, and they were like, no dice, no shot now, and we even put, if you remember this, right, that we pushed the game back. It was supposed to be like a 1:00 game or something for the semifinal, and we agreed to push it back because you guys didn't all get in till whatever hour it was. So we pushed it back, and the Denver guys were just, oh man, yeah, I think they were all Gilman kids because they were just bitching the whole time. It was like, this is so unfair.
MIA for sure.
Yeah.
What were they salty about? Because didn't they want us to do more or something? Did they want to delay the game?
I feel like the jerseys were en route, and they had a chance of getting them or something, but they ended up wearing.
But the Barrage, we did whatever we said. Okay, they want to move the game back to 4, and Tony was like, all right, whatever.
You know what this sounds like to me, Belisle? It sounds like this is all a ploy of the Barrage to give us as least rest as possible between our games.
We didn't even have an owner. You think we had a crew that was going out stealing uniforms at the airport? I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Brian Spinetta.
Before the security at the airport, it was easy pickings there. Just grab the bag of jerseys, throw it in the bag.
We were due a break. We played our games in the middle of nowhere Amish country. One year we didn't even have a stadium. We didn't have a name. It was just blank Barrage, which is the Barrage. So I think all things considered, we were
near one at the year we had no home either, and we ran into a buzzsaw in the semifinals of. I saw something on Instagram the other day. The best they were calling the 2003 championship the best game ever played, the best, most talented people ever on the field. And no disrespect to the people of that age bracket, Kevin Lowe, that group of guys, but I would put up 08 Barrage Rattlers game. So I'll take Ryan and myself out of it because we're not even, because, we don't want to be so self-indulged. But you got, Colin Doyle, Gavin Prout.
That Rochester team was
John Grant Jr., Brody Merrill, Casey Powell.
Yeah, that team was
Jeff Zwicky. And then I remember the goalie was Mike Levin. They had Saul Bliss, Jack Reed. They were insane on our side. So just John Grant Jr., Casey Powell, right? There's a good enough team.
Doyle
on our side.
Midfield.
What's that?
Alan Doyle was their 4th midfielder.
Yeah, Casey was coming out of the box. That's how they won, if you remember. He put the ball on a coffee can over Doc's right shoulder. Now, on our side, our first starting midfield was Roy Colsey, Matt Strebel. Our starting attack was Hall of Fame Ryan Boyle, Seth Goldberg. Who was else was down there? Who?
Springer.
Oh, that's right, and Springer. Defensively, we had Doc and Cage. Brian Kuzma, me, Spalina.
What's Springer doing now?
What's that?
What's Springer doing now?
He still runs Maverick and Cascade Sales. He was one of the partners in the beginning with me and the other guys at Maverick, and he's still there.
We gotta get into the game here.
Did you like how our first midfield was Streebs, Colsey, and then just nobody else?
Well,
2-man midfield.
No disrespect, but the third guy on the line, we didn't even call him by his real given name. We called him Ned. So that wasn't his name, by the way.
Right?
Yeah.
Jed. All right, so we've got Greg Bice here. We've got Kyle Sweeney here. Greg Bice, Resolute, Kyle Sweeney, former Georgetown standout. That's everyone knows who you guys are. We don't need too much more bio here, but we are going to be talking about the 2007 LA Riptide versus Philadelphia Barrage championship game. They were big hits. There were a lot of goals. There was a controversial call at the end.
Ooh.
I don't remember that at all. Did you?
I absolutely remember it. As soon as it happened, I was like, we just won.
I still hold a grudge to Matt Palom to this day because of that.
Not alone.
But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Get some good action going here. At any point, just let me know if you want me to pause it and you want to talk through something.
Yeah, Bice is going to want to talk through one play in particular about 20 times.
Let's just go to the third quarter.
I think it's actually up there right now.
Oh my God, we're starting with this?
Yes.
I'm already on the ground.
Can I say something about this play before we even jump into it? Somehow, I don't know who Boyle paid, but whenever they do highlights of this game, it's never on there. This play is like disappeared. Like whenever they're like, "Oh, biggest hits in MLL history," this
probably because it was a cheap shot, Greg.
Wow.
Whoa, fired.
All right, well, let's just watch and we'll let the people decide.
Let's get some audio for this.
All right, we'll get an audio version round one.
Let me get a quick pause. Can you set the field real quick? I see JJ Morrissey, Matt Casey, who after this game never existed ever again. We'll talk about that in a minute. DJ Driscoll. Who else is there?
Matt
yeah,
Casey
for sure. So we had
championship. It's in Boston.
Yeah. So here's the thing you got to remember, and Sweeney, and you guys know this, but a lot of people watching probably don't, is that we were only allowed to have 3 poles at this point in MLL. So Belisle is playing with a short stick all game down low. And then we have Sean Donnelly. Sean Donnelly, we had locking Boyle off all game. So we didn't want Boyle to touch the ball and facilitate. And so what you're about to see happen is Boyle thinks he gets away with a backdoor cut on Donnelly, which he did. And I just happened to – Colsey just looked at it 1 second too long, and I happened to see it coming.
You called it. That's what's called a slow break.
Oh,
Bro, you left your feet. You led with your elbow, and you ran for 12 yards before you hit him. I mean –
Hey, all I got to say is if you listen to Quint pumps my tire and tells me it was a clean hit.
This is pre-concussion protocol. Right,
Yeah.
Go right back in, bud.
Hey, no penalty, number one. Number two, Boyle actually, by laying down and pretending like he was hurt, stopped our fast break. They blew the whistle, and that pissed me off more than anything.
that's a clean hit. That's a clean hit.
Mitch, there's documented evidence that you are not qualified to talk about
I
clean
was
hits.
going to say that's probably coming from unreliable source.
You know, coming from you, Mitch, I appreciate that. Mitch has obviously had way more big hits than me in my career, but I'll take this one.
So if this were
He left his feet.
2020,
He left his
Ryan
feet.
would be out until, the following season. Now we're like, Ryan, you good? Okay, let's go.
Hey, I will say, honestly, Boyle is obviously one of – you guys know this, but he's one of the toughest guys that I've ever played against. I mean, he always gets up. And Boyle, I know that's not the only time you've been hit that big, but every time you get up, man, and obviously you make some plays here after this. So, I'm always, hats off to you and much respect.
The year before when we won the championship by 100 goals, Ryan played with a separated shoulder.
I always joke that Ryan has a liquid button. Like, right? He's like one of those toys where you push the bottom and the whole thing goes falls down. He sees the hit coming and just goes liquid. And so it looks really bad. He pops right up.
At halftime, I specifically went to Roy and I was like, look, he's overplaying me. I'm going to backdoor him. Whatever you do, just give a look to make sure there's not somebody sliding. So just give it a half extra second. And then this is the start of the third quarter.
And I didn't leave my feet. Boyle went to liquid mode, and I
You're
just
actually
ran
watching this. You're watching this the same way we are, and you're saying you didn't leave your feet.
I ran. I don't know what happened.
Look where he paused it.
That's what we call a hot knife through butter.
So that
I did lead with my shoulder.
I think I'm dead.
You saw the light. You went to the light for a brief period.
Bice, I went to a wedding. Dear God. I dropped my stick. I went to a wedding like a few months later, and I'm just like hanging out, and this like random salty Baltimore dad is like, hey, so that championship game, I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, congratulations. I'm like, oh, thanks. And he's like, did you get the license plate number of that truck that ran over you? I was like, how long have you been saving that one up? Like,
did you know I was going to be at this wedding?
Like a few weeks, a few months.
He's like looking at the table assignments. He's like, Boyle, got him. All right, here we go. Table 7, 8 p.m. I'll be there.
You guys had Sean Lindsay. That's right. Was that Kyle Harrison?
Yeah.
No.
Harrison was not this year.
No, Kyle came year after.
Yeah, he was on New Jersey this year, right?
Yeah, so we had Watson, Terry Reardon, and Spencer Ford on attack. And then On midfield, we had Downing has a big game in here. This is his rookie year, along with Bilisle. This is your rookie year as well, right? Yeah, you were the youngest guy on the field, I think.
And you know who
Who's
else?
Scott?
You know who else was on this team was Matt Oglesby. He was one of the captains on the team. Completely forgot until I watched this back. I was like, Ogs was on this team.
Ogs was on this team, and we were
Joey. Over.
Casey, little rollback ripper.
As if Casey was going to shoot it with his left.
didn't need to.
Oh my God! And you had Tuck as your coach.
We had Tuck as our coach.
Who's taking the draws?
Who's your face-off guy?
Train, and then Chris Bazanka. They dressed two.
The Navy guy?
That's right.
No,
Bazanka's a Navy guy.
Iceman.
We had a lot of Navy guys because they were all down in San Diego.
Yeah, and Graham Gill had a breakout year this year for us with the Riptide. He was huge.
Graham was good. I remember Graham was good that year.
He was the reason for that controversial call in the fourth quarter. We'll skip ahead here.
Wow, that was a sold-out crowd.
Cool. That's fine. That's cool, I guess.
Do you have a goal or something? What do you want? What do you want to say?
No, after Bice crushes me, I score the next goal.
Yeah, we could totally see
Here we go.
I was always proud of that. Well, now what?
No, it would have been the 10th. Mitch, it would have been the 10th goal.
Who's letting Mitch drive?
It's his show, guys. What do you
Whose idea was that?
My idea. It's my idea.
No, Mitch, it would have been back another one. It would have been the 10th goal. It was Rise.
Oh, I think Belisle. I think that was your hit right there, Belisle.
Here we go.
If I don't score, I'm never going to hear the end of this. Damn it. Never mind.
Oh, it was another man up. Another man up from the Barrage, Belisle.
I'll tell you, Ryan, tell me if you're one of the – I'm not going to say the most, but if you looked at some of the most underrated people that played in the league for 6+ years, if you asked a bunch of people, like young kids, do you know who Mike Springer is? They would have no clue. Springer was one of the best, like, second to third attackmen on a team for 6 straight years. He was unbelievable. He would dish. If he had his hands free, it was lights out.
I think because of the Cuse background, people know Springer. Because think about it, at Cuse, it was Powell, Springer, and Liam at one point. Like that.
Wow.
And Kaufman, yeah, and then it was Kaufman for a little bit. Then he played midfield.
Yeah.
Guys, we're getting old. Not many people know many of the people that we played.
Yeah. But if Mike shot the ball, you just ran. You got the hell out of the way. No one was standing for the net.
Well, you guys had a lot of heavy outside shots between Colby, Streebs. There you go, Bice.
I think Springer was underrated when he was in the league, but I think in terms of name recognition, people know. I love how Roy just totally looked off Streebs there.
This is when they were kind of dueling, like diva dueling, if you will.
Colsey and Springer.
No, Colsey and Streble, because Streble got Player of the Year that year, Midfielder of the Year. Roy was not ready to give the throwing away.
Look at that
in overtime of the semifinal.
Turnover. Wait, go back. Oh, gosh.
Let's skip this one. I think we better fast forward this guy.
Oh, yeah, buried it. That's the one I was referencing.
I just threw the ball right to the other team.
I love that you were pumping your tire for the ground ball, too, which was nice, but was followed up by a turnover.
That's not your fault. They shouldn't have made you play with a short stick.
I remember just throwing that and being, as soon as it came out, we were just like, oh no, this is
young you look,
bad. Oh, that was your goal, right? Your goal was me throwing it to you, or I guess to your teammate.
Yeah. So letting you Barrage guys in, we talked about Tucker. Well, Sean Sherrill ran the defense, and he had this high and tight haircut, and even they called him Sergeant. The Navy guys did, because he was that intense. And we had this running joke on our team that wasn't really a joke. I got blamed every single time we got scored on. So that goal right there, Coach Trell would have been yelling at me, Bice, what are you doing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Belisle just threw the ball to Boyle and he scored. He's like, that's your fault. You had to have that covered. Every single goal was my fault that season.
But don't forget that we also had Mickey Jarbo, who would scream louder than anyone at all his defense. He was like the scene out of Happy Gilmore when he's like on the buzzer where he's like, I'm sorry guys, I still love you. Those finger paintings you bring home, they're great. 5 seconds later, Bice, what are you doing?
Turn and rake, Trev. Turn and rake.
Are we copying this? Oh, we're just fast forward that sweet commercial?
Was that you, Boyle?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
Boyle.
is that
speaking of
Spencer
commercials-
Ford on attack? Wow.
Who cares?
Boyle, what was the one commercial you did that was so bad with Warrior?
Well, probably this.
Right here, bro.
No. There's another one where you guys are like in a diner.
That wasn't in that one.
Are you sure? Are you just saying that?
I know what commercials I'm
There
in.
it is.
Hey, was the late great Coach Huntley in this part of the staff?
No, but Kevin Huntley came onto the Riptide in 2008, his son. But Coach Huntley was never involved with the Riptide.
No? Okay.
But Kevin Huntley played for us in 2008. That was his rookie year.
Oh, is
He, and then he got rookie of the year, didn't he?
He was good. He scored like 40 outside goals, same shot.
That same winter, he scored 0 goals in the MLL and played every game.
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah.
Hey, Boyle, I'm sorry you don't remember all the commercials you were in. I apologize for
Over that whole thing, but that's cool. Whatever.
all the other ones were good. That was just one that I didn't like, and that's just my personal preference. So I'm sure.
We got an 11-11 game here, end of the third. Giving the fans what they want.
So
JJ Morrissey, big time underrated player.
No doubt.
Greg's offsides.
It probably was.
What was Terry Reardon like as a teammate?
Nicest guy you could ever meet.
The
Really?
best.
Just
Yeah.
like big, friendly, giant, nicest guy you could ever meet.
Do you remember he was late to a game we played in DC because he was sightseeing and he had to take a cab? He missed the team bus. He was seeing.
He was like still like he was on like soap operas and stuff when he was on the team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Terry's an actor. I got a good story about being late to a game. So, well, there's so many with the Barrage. There are plenty of them, but when the year in 08 when we had no home field, we played all these. Our home games were all over. So one of the games was in St. Louis. So Tony Resch, who's an animal, you guys would see. Tony's thing would be like, after we go do shoot around, depending on how far it was, he would either run home or he would drive with the bus and tell the bus driver, like, let me off here. And he would run somewhere between like 5 and 7 miles back to the hotel. Well, so we're in St. Louis and we've never been there to this field. So Tony gets off the bus, standard. And then, we go do our thing. Ryan and I go have lunch, go back, take a nap, walk back. We all get on the bus. Tony's not there. And, no one thinks anything of it. We're looking for Tony. No one can find him. So we're like, all right, well, we got to go. We don't want to mess with warm-up, so let's just go. So we go to the stadium or to the trailer that they had for us for the locker room. And we're all like waiting for Tony. Long story short, Tony got lost running, and he didn't have his phone with him. He walked in full of sweat like 15 minutes before we went out. It was great.
Wait, who was in goal for you guys right there? Did Doc get a penalty?
Kevin Keenan.
Did Doc get a
Doc
penalty?
hurt.
Because he got hit
No,
square in the nuts, like right at the end of the half. And then, did he get
got hurt. He didn't. No, yeah, he didn't. He was out. Like he had a couple things going on. A little bit of dehydration from poor nutrition choices the night before, and as well as just being injured. He was banged up. He barely played in the fourth quarter.
Because he got hit right at the end of the first half. He got hit square, I think, either right in the low belly.
Yo,
or
go back on that. Look at this dart from Keenan. The first pass coming out of his stick for the game. That's, by the way, Springfield High School guy. He hits another Springfield High School guy 60 yards away on the money. Watch this.
I'll tell you what, he was really good in this game, filling in for Doc.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even move. Right in my stick.
Look at Sweeney, just wanting to see him catch bombs all day.
I was complimenting somebody else, but if we're going to talk about me, that's fine.
Nicky Jarbo. Nicky Jarbo is an all-time
Oh!
great teammate.
Oh, just soaked that, huh?
I was feeling it.
You got a penalty. You guys got a penalty on this. Barrage got a penalty on this play
Shooting after
For what?
for shooting like after the quarter had ended and drilling.
That's the proverbial blue tent. He's in the blue tent right now.
Yeah, he's in protocol.
All right. Oh, yes. How do you not score that, Terry? Come on, Terrence.
Oh,
Keenan's really good.
that's Terry's spot, man. He had like 5 billion goals in college from right there.
So just making sure we're on the same page here. The only true highlight from this game is that we just skipped over that one. Is that what we're doing? I'm just curious.
What's that? What highlight?
Yeah, that is like that.
I'm not even
Honestly,
going to answer that.
Sweeney, that highlight we were talking about has to be one of the most played highlights in MLL history.
That happened right at the beginning of the quarter?
It put Matt Casey in witness protection program for the next 6 months.
All I'm saying is just you should be glad that it wasn't me. Wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have gotten up. Where is it?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I wouldn't go searching for it.
It's like we can watch that play again.
Wait, Ryan, is that Ryan's first blow up? See, look, if you look at this, this is earlier in the game, and Kevin was playing then too, right?
This is the fourth quarter now. We're in the fourth
Oh.
quarter. That's.
I was watching your.
I think the Sweeney highlight was in like the first
I
first
thought it
quarter.
was late in the game. I thought it was a game changer, but
No, it was first quarter.
What we call a tone setter.
Don't say
the
it.
point of the camera was the epic move. Did you know where the camera was? Always knows where the camera is.
Oh my god.
First
I took a guess. The stadium was empty, Mitch. There was one person on that side of the field.
All right, let's get down. And then it's still 11-11. Defensive battle here.
Couple-
Let's get down.
I just want to add a couple key components to this defense that don't go talked about are Kevin Gassis, Bobby Horsey, Tim Burns. I mean, Joe Saglia. He gets talked about. He was a integral part of the team. But
How many times did Cassis successfully execute the fake flip from midfield? 7, 8?
no, not that many.
He did it
Wait,
like 3
did
times
you-
against us.
I'll tell you how this is like some crazy revisionist history. I thought we killed you guys in this game. I had no idea we were down in the fourth quarter.
There's like
You guys were up all game, and then we mounted
back.
pivotal swing that happens late. It's like a 3-goal swing that's bang, 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 aided by a
a questionable call.
I
We made a couple
you
of bad
guys
decisions
fought
here.
by 1, and then Graham Gill gets hauled down, swears at Palom. They give him a penalty. You guys score in the ensuing man up, and that puts you up 2, I think.
And then I think they scored 2. I think Palom locked them in.
Oh, that's right.
Strebel has the dagger, and it is one of the most gorgeous shots. I had the perfect vantage point for it, but it is gorgeous shot. We'll get there.
Best play of Final Four weekend is going undiscussed. It was
Yes.
There's Strebel with lower rollback.
the semifinal. So the semifinal, Casey Cittadino, who I love, but it was tough. It was a tough go for Casey on this one. So he's talking trash to Roy Colsey all day, calling him old, you're not doing anything. I got you shut down, whatever. And Roy just said to him going into overtime, he's like, listen, son, it's coming. I got you. It's coming. So goes overtime. Andy Cornell wins the face-off. I don't remember who got it. Pops it. Boom. Tony calls timeout. We had a play drawn up. Most likely had Streebs involved. Roy just said, no, thank you. Goes up out of the box, comes top left, and just splits right to left, which is very un-Roy. Dodges down the side, fires it left-handed, sticks it. Doesn't say anything at all to Casey, but we're walking in line doing the handshake, and Roy just politely says, hey, I told you it was coming. He just keeps moving by. It was the most gangster thing I've ever seen.
Oh, RB with the run out. Uh-oh. Transition spark camera can't even follow you here.
I think Roy's about to put one in on us here.
Another turnover. It's clearing game.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I'll save you.
Uh-oh.
Shoot it.
Oh no!
Smitty Lax looks fast.
So
Oh
if we
my
score
God.
here, you're getting yelled at, obviously, right? This is your fault if we get
Oh,
scored.
that was my fault, rightfully so. I deserve that. I didn't go.
really.
Should have gone with 3/4 inch cleats. I went with the 1/2 inchers.
Yeah, those Rochester thick grass fields.
Was it grass? It was next turf, wasn't it?
There's turf.
No, it's turf. Yeah.
If it was
Appreciate you,
fast, I don't know. Looking out for my teammate. Alex Buckley was on this team.
Yeah.
That's his rookie year.
That's a force, dear God.
The flag was down.
Free play.
DJ Driscoll was really good too. Is that who's guarding you, right? No, that's right.
DJ Driscoll he had that long, slow poker. He would just like slowly put it in there and then just flick it, and it worked. I've never seen anything like that where it
Yeah,
worked
well,
every time.
growing up, I learned that to be known as the can opener. I'm not sure if you guys have heard it, but like the can opener for him was.
But his was like he would like leave it in there for like 4 or 5 steps before he would actually twist it. It was like rolling. He would lull guys to sleep with it. He's also like 6'4" with the longest arms.
He has to have the most takeaways I've ever seen with that check. Like, I probably had like 5 takeaway checks in my entire career. He would have 5 a game with that thing.
Yeah, DJ Driscoll. He's up in Pacific Northwest now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh God, number 31 just running around like a chicken with his head cut off out there.
Was that Roy there? Yeah.
How do we not cover him, Belisle?
I was completely out of position there. I was like running around like crazy. Look at me. Don't know where I'm going.
We're man up. We're just in a 3-3.
Oh, I go into the crease, and then I just don't get back to the right spot. I don't know.
Strebel's little pump fake seems to throw you.
Mitch, I don't think this is you. I think this is whoever's top left here.
Oh, no, we both committed to yeah, you're right. We got to come across there.
It starts.
I actually, this is Mitch. You and I have had these disagreements many times. If you run that back, this is actual lacrosse talking here. My issue with this has nothing to do with the guy coming across. It has everything to do with. Hold on, real quick. Stop.
Nice commitment there.
We're playing 3-on-2 here, Dan.
So here's my problem. This is actual lacrosse we're talking about. So Mitch does a great job, shows across to a guy who clearly, if you know anything about man up, right off the restart, he's not turning the corner to score.
Yeah.
So this is all window dressing, dummy play, whatever. So Mitch does his part, he shows across, and he is clearly going to get back to his side. But for whatever reason, I can't see who's top left there.
Yeah, he comes. I think that's DJ comes down.
DJ, you come down like a bat out of hell on the lefty guy who, by the way, that is not our shooter either. So you're coming down and you're coming down hard, which then makes whoever the top right guys have to run 15 yards across the field to the right-handed shooter that you can't get to, and that's where the play was going the whole damn time. Like, to me, it drives me nuts that.
I think it looks like DJ was trying. It looks like he thought he could jump him and take the ball away. I think is why he went so aggressively. But yeah,
but it's extra man. It's short man. Your job is not to take the ball away. It's like we're just trying to live the fight another day. We already missed the shot, so the extra man's got to be down to like 15 seconds, right? So just do your role and stay tight. It's a tie game. Like let the ball move around and let someone take a poor shot at the end.
Yeah, I agree. Hold that position, man. He's behind the GLE. He's not scoring back there.
Yeah, this is his 5 from the semis. 6?
No, this is 6. No, this is 6 from the year before in the final.
I was gonna say that looked too old, and the grass was nasty.
That was out in LA. That was on your field, Mitch.
Oh, I think this is the play. Is this the play?
No. Graham Gill gets like torn down on that play.
Is Spencer wearing a helmet camera?
Yes, he is.
Sounds about right.
That footage has never been seen before.
I'll tell you what, Spencer set a league record for assists this year. And
he was awesome. He was awesome that year. He
was awesome, man. You talk about a guy that just like knows his role and does his job, just moving the ball and setting up his teammates. He was amazing.
But what's wild about it, and this team in general, I felt like you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know Terry hadn't played the year before. I don't think Spencer did, or maybe, I don't think he did. There were several guys that weren't playing in the league, but then with expansion, they came back and they were older, but they could still obviously play.
Yeah, I think we had this whole a bunch of nobodies, I think that was part of our makeup. And, guys, we didn't have a lot of egos and guys just wanted a chance to compete. I got cut from the Barrage, a couple years before. So I was just looking for an opportunity to play, and obviously LA and expansion gave it to us.
Yeah, and I don't think Mickey had played in a while, right? Or did he play the year before?
No, he didn't. We had Tillman the year before.
Yeah, because that's right. Because the Navy and Graham hadn't played because the Navy guys were either on cruise or something of that nature, and they couldn't play. But
Greg Downing with the rap can't rap there. Can't rap there. GD, come on.
He was a rookie.
Was he a rookie this year?
Yeah.
There's me and Greg and Alex Buckley were the 3 rookies on this team. Did you guys have any rookies? You guys were all like established.
We
You
always
guys won already too.
We
Just
just
the third.
mortgaged future draft picks for current assets.
So we had this theory, Ryan and I had this theory that we just forced on management, is that we'd rather take the known versus the unknown. Like, if you've proven you could play in the league, we'll just take you, and we'll roll the dice that these draft picks aren't going to work, because we know that you could take Seth Goldberg from Rochester and put him in. You could take Andy Corno from New Jersey, because he's going to win the faceoffs, and just go from there. Instead of, like, I'll give you an example. There was a player, just to be polite, we went the draft route on a faceoff guy. He played at UVA, and he wore number 20 for us. That's as much description as I'll give you. And it just didn't pan out. And it would have just been able to, like, if we would have just done the year before and said, okay, well, by the way, we took him as a chance to see if he could back up Paul Canabine, and it didn't really work. So, okay, so let's go out and get Andy for the next year. I called Andy, and I said, hey, if you come here, we're going to win again. Do you want to come? He's like, sure, no problem. And then we came and won.
Pretty good sales pitch.
And came to fruition.
We also 1 year drafted Jed Prosner over Brody Merrill. So we didn't necessarily trust our management's evaluations. And our scouting department was lean.
This was, you guys had won.
Right. There was no staff. The whole organization had 3 people. There was no staff.
You guys, the reigning champs. Was this the second of 3, or was this the third?
Yeah, this was the second of 3. This was the third of 4, and that's what killed me so badly about 8. In 8, that would have been the 4th in 5 years. We won in 4, lost in 5, won in 6, won in 7, and then we ran into fucking Rochester in 8. Sorry, language.
There it is. There it is. Rochester always draw an F-bomb out of you.
That was the year that we were in the semifinals on the other side of the bracket.
That was in Boston, right? In 08?
You guys, wait, that's the game you guys you won by or you lost in the final by 100.
Denver.
Right?
I think we lost to Denver, right?
No, we lost to Denver in the semifinal the next year. And I think you guys lost in the semifinal to Rochester won it against Denver.
But whoever they beat by 100 in the final.
That was Denver.
And I'm sorry to go back to, and this is why you guys got me so animated and to the point where I swore, is why I was so angry about losing to Rochester is because if we would have and we lost in overtime too. So, a coin toss type game. If we won and Rochester went on to beat Denver by something like 15 goals. So I knew if we would have won that game, we would have won 4 out of 5 years. The championship, that was one of those times where the championship happened to be in the semifinal. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The other bracket always loves hearing that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we actually wanted to play Rochester in the championship because we had played them early in the year and we had pounded them.
Ryan, we were 12-2 on the year. I don't think I'm disrespecting anybody else.
I agree. I'm just making.
What were we on that year, Belisle? Do your computer skills and figure out what we were coming on the other side of that bracket.
I got it. This is it. This is the play right here. This is where Graham Gill get pulled down.
Yeah, so we're up 1, and then this is a 2-goal swing. This ball game. So.
Wait, you thought he got pulled down?
So
that's the first time I've ever seen that play. Hold on, go back.
So let me rephrase that. I agree. It doesn't look as bad as I remember, but he also he just said what the F to Palom. That's what he said about that. He's like, what the F, no call, which he maybe gets tangled up and tripped, less so pulled down now that I watch it again.
You see Bice's hit on me earlier?
Clean.
He definitely fell there.
Either way, you can't call 1 minute unsportsmanlike at this point in the game at this level because a guy said,
that's the part, especially when it's a player yelling at the ref. It's like, just let the game go. Like,
well, I thought the Navy guys were disciplined. I don't know. I mean,
I think also the league had like a strict no F-bomb policy at certain points.
Come on, we got Sweeney dropping F-bombs right now.
Hold on. Let's go. Listen. I'm totally fine. Go back. I'm totally fine with not showing the only highlight of that game. Okay, I'm fine with that. But you must go back and watch the sickness of this ground ball and the speed on his way out.
Yes, you're flying.
I'll tell you what, Sweeney, you could run, man.
Yeah,
God, I'm so old.
we all are.
That could, if you didn't come up with that ground ball, maybe someone puts it in. Maybe a little,
This
you
is
know,
a
Spencer.
two-goal swing here.
Yeah,
Yeah, the flag's down. Well, so that's what happened. The flag's down right now, right? And because it's
Yep.
a personal foul, they still give you the penalty.
and then they lock him in.
Just
I think we should probably cut the interview off here. As it's
total clear out for Streebs here. It's total clear out.
And Graham's gassed anyway, right? So he's like,
Graham can run all day.
Yeah, peace.
looks like he's running real hard.
Oh, look at that great defense. Talk about that, Sweeney. Great approach, great breakdown.
Everyone's gassed out there.
Everyone's gassed.
It didn't look like I was gassed on that last shift at all. I was.
I've been just flying around.
So we run a 3-3 roll off here on man up, and for whatever reason, the guy that's supposed to be back left decides to cut. I don't know why. He just totally goes off script. So I have to carry through X. Strebel's shot is a low to high. It against Mickey, and it hugs the pipe.
Pause it. Time out. Pause it. Time out. Is this? I'm being very serious. I want to ask an interview question about Ryan here. Is this like some LeBron stuff you've got going on? Like the fact that you remember that detail. If you haven't watched this game a dozen times, it means it's ingrained in your brain. So tell me how you remember that and why, and what some of the triggers are that make you see the game from 12 years ago exactly like you just ran it yesterday.
Make sure I'm right, because I'm going to look like a real jerk.
I'll tell you what it was. It was that hit I put on you.
Gave him a superpower to remember games.
There's certain things that I think just from games, like especially like these, like when Strebel scored this, I knew the game was over. So
Yeah.
Sweeney, I completely agree. Like, I can barely remember any plays from my playing days.
Well, that's because I've seen the way you hit, buddy. I mean,
that certainly doesn't help.
I always remember plays that didn't go in my favor. There's a play in this game, Boyle, that we didn't show where there's a loose ball. I pick it up, and you run me down from behind, check it out of my stick, and it one hops to whoever, and they bury on an empty net. And, like, I still vividly remember that play.
Greg, that's interesting, and I would love to hear a sports psychologist talk about this. So the same way I don't remember, and like if you guys said, like I said, I don't remember this game at all, but I could tell you every detail of that Rochester game we lost in the semifinals the next. It's just like you. I don't remember the good stuff at all. I remember all the bad stuff, which is a terrible thing to do because
3-3 roll off.
Here it is, Boyle.
Jed cuts, and then bang.
Oh.
We'll get a good angle from this. Oh, RB with the stick swing celebration. You know it's a good goal when RB does a stick swing celebration.
I don't think I've ever.
You did on my goal early in this game, which we somehow just cut to the archives.
He did a low to high stick swing on your goal, though. It was an uppercut.
No, but with that one, I got a foot kick. I got the foot kick on his.
The foot kick, yeah, that's always a.
Is that the Boyle go-to celebration, the stick swing?
If it's he's really excited for that.
This shot doesn't even get a read.
I was gonna say we're not even getting. They're waiting for a break in the action. Too high pace in the MLL here.
So we're still down now because Graham's locked in.
Something interesting I've noticed is that I'm coming, not that I'm just looking all at me, but as a team, we went pole. We weren't going pole on the wing every shift here, every draw, but we did at this moment, which I thought was interesting. Because Andy, I think, if the stats were, maybe I don't know, whatever. You should look at the stats, but I thought Andy did well that game. I don't know why at that point Tony was up there.
This cuts out, guys. Bummer. We don't see the celebration. This is the last 2 seconds here.
Oh man, that stinks, Boyle.
That's it.
Thanks, Sweeney.
It's okay. I did the math.
Hold on, I'm gonna get my ring. We'll see if we could.
You know what stinks now that we're talking about that is all three of you guys won at some point, except for me. I never got a championship.
Hey, neither is Dan Marino. He's still in the Hall of Fame, bud. You had plenty of a good career.
Is that why all the Resolute trophies are up on the mantle above the fireplace?
We do win a few of those. Those are nice. So
There you go.
yeah, I gotta hang my hat on something.
We got our first box trophy in the JV division, and man, it was a proud moment. I will say, feels good to win one of those. It was against Roy's team. Roy
Wait,
Cole-
you won a real NLL championship, Mitch.
You know what? I think my 7th, 8th, or 9th, 10th grade box championship might have been more.
Hey, can we for a serious moment here? I get more enjoyment out of coaching and having my teams win as a coach than I did as a player. Obviously, I never won a championship, but I think it's more rewarding for me.
You don't know apples to apples. How do you like? That's
I've won a couple things. All right, I've won a couple things.
Brian, you won more than any of us, all the three of us combined. Tell us, where do you get more enjoyment? And it's okay for your current players to hear this if you enjoy more winning as yourself.
in all due respect, the stakes haven't been quite as high at the, at some of these competitions that we've coached at, as opposed to, the best team in the world that has that, title for 4 years. I would say that's a pretty, that's a big one. That's a big matzo ball. So I think that probably, in terms of, in our sport, I think that might be the ultimate, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I lost my invite back based off my language, but if I do get invited back, 2010 Manchester, that'll be the game I want to watch.
Well, Sweeney, did you win any NLL, Sweeney?
Nope. 11 years. 11 years, 1 playoff game. No, sorry. 2 playoff games, 0 wins.
That, to me, I feel like that felt – I loved the team we had in Boston in 2011 was amazing, and that was a special group. Winning the championship in NLL felt more like it felt like you invested more to make that happen.
Well, you did. I mean,
it's so much more physical, so much more –
quantifiably, you did. You put more time in, more hours. And I thought it was harder. Also the series side of it as well. I thought it was harder to win. Winning an NL championship every year, you go through these meetings, and I have no problem saying this now, but you have these meetings. What are your goals? Everyone's like, we're going to win a championship. I remember being in the locker room. I was like in my 9th year with the same team at the Wings, looking at these guys like, talking about like this. I want to see if we can get to the playoffs, and then maybe we can string something together there. Let's manage expectations realistically, and that's not done well. The MLL, you just kind of got to get there. It's almost like
it's best of 4, exactly.
Just get there and
have a good weekend. You're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of teams. That'd be a good little conversation. Who were the MLL champions that were least likely, that kind of came out of left field? I remember that there was definitely a Nationals team that showed up bruised and battered. They were coming off the Man Cup, and all of a sudden, hey, they just won a championship. It was down in Annapolis.
They lost to us in 11. We beat them in the finals in 2011.
That's right.
Boston did, but yeah, they were, and Casey was on that team. Casey Powell was on.
Yeah, but I think they won it in 10.
I think you're right. I think they did.
We lost to Denver. No, we lost to Chesapeake. I don't know. I've lost my mind now, but
we need an analyst on these calls. We got get a new hire here, get an analyst to do all this research, so we actually have the data we're talking about.
Honestly, you just need an earpiece and somebody sitting next to you with a computer up at the same time.
Say we don't already have that going on. They're just doing a poor job.
All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you guys spending some time. We learned some things. We saw some great Sweeney highlights mostly, and
I think this crew's got a part due in them.
I'm in. I really, really, truly appreciate that you guys honoring and respect. All 4 of us have to, because we're in this, but respecting the bedtime is great.
No doubt. I appreciate it.
I just had an arm wrestling match with my 3-year-old redhead to get him to bed so I could make it here on time to do this.
Well, I was just holding a door closed for an hour straight. So
wow.
That's good stuff.
Well, awesome, guys. We'll have a safe next few weeks, and I'm sure everyone should be available at 8:45 a couple nights down the road.
You don't have to ask my calendar. It's open. It's open until
It's
the
open.
government until the government says differently. It's open.